Y'all, if you thought Papoose's birthday in New York was just another cake and candles affair, think again because the internet just went from zero to chaos in less than 60 seconds. 1 minute, people are clapping, popping champagne, and watching birthday smiles, and the next, the social media streets are on fire, emojis everywhere, theories exploding, and everyone's asking the same question. What the hell just went down between Claressa Shields and Remy Ma? Did Claressa really show up fashionably late? Or was this a calculated move to make a point? And why? Why did she blast Remy Ma so publicly right after the party, like the drama itself had been waiting for its spotlight? Some fans say it's petty. Others? They're screaming conspiracy. Was this a subtle clapback, a power play, or the start of a full-blown love and hip-hop style showdown in real life? And here's the kicker: the timing. Social media detectives are zooming in on every hair flip, every side-eye, every Instagram story. Nothing is safe. Every clip is dissected. Every post is evidence. And while some are calling it over the top, others are convinced they're witnessing the celebrity drama event of the year. Buckle up, Shader family, because this birthday just turned into a full-blown battlefield. And we're about to expose every shocking detail that the mainstream won't dare touch. It all started as a seemingly ordinary birthday celebration in New York. The kind of night where you expect laughter, champagne, and a few heartfelt toasts. Papoose was surrounded by close friends, family, and a handful of familiar faces who had been part of his life for years. On the surface, everything looked perfect, warm, intimate, full of love. But if the internet has taught us anything, it's that nothing is ever just what it seems. What should have been a private night of celebration quickly became a public spectacle, and the drama unfolded faster than anyone could anticipate. Clips from the party began circulating online almost immediately, and once they hit social media, the reactions were instant and relentless. Fans began scrutinizing every angle, every glance, and every subtle movement, dissecting each frame like amateur detectives on a mission to expose a conspiracy that, to some, might not even exist. Then came the first moment that sparked whispers of controversy. Claressa Shields, who had been noticeably absent from the early portions of the celebration, suddenly appeared. At first, it seemed harmless. Maybe she had been caught up with other obligations, a flight delayed, or personal errands. But the timing was curious. Clips from the party were already online, circulating wildly, when Claressa's arrival was noted by fans who immediately began piecing together timelines, speculating about why she had not been there from the start. Was it simple logistics, or was it a calculated move designed to send a message? Within minutes, comment sections across multiple platforms exploded with theories. Some argued that her late arrival was normal and unremarkable. Others suggested it was deliberate, a subtle jab, or a strategic entrance meant to draw attention. The narrative began to take shape, a celebrity feud simmering beneath the surface, one that would soon boil over in ways no one expected. The tension escalated when Claressa began posting videos of herself getting ready, showing off her hair, her outfit, her entire prelude to the night in painstaking detail. For some viewers, this was just standard influencer behavior, a normal preparation ritual before heading into the spotlight. But for the internet sleuths, every clip was a clue, and suddenly nothing was innocent. The timing, the location, the style, all of it was analyzed, broken down, and theorized about. Observers claimed they noticed subtle signals, micro-expressions, and movements that hinted at more than just preparation. Was Claressa sending a message to Remy Ma? Were the posts a form of social signaling that only insiders could decode? Fans debated endlessly, framing every haircut, every outfit change, every casual glance as part of a larger narrative that was unfolding in real time. The speculation grew, fueled by the kind of obsessive attention that only the internet could sustain. And suddenly, a simple birthday celebration had morphed into the most discussed celebrity event of the week. Adding to the drama was the persistent question of Remy Ma's potential involvement. Rumors suggested that she might have been present at some point during the party, or at least in the vicinity. While these reports were never confirmed, the mere suggestion was enough to ignite an inferno of speculation. Fans immediately began theorizing about possible confrontations, hidden tension, and unspoken rivalries. Was there history between Claressa and Remy that the public had never seen? Did Claressa's late arrival and subsequent posts signify a deliberate confrontation or a power move? The internet, never one to allow ambiguity to persist, quickly filled in the blanks, creating a narrative of conflict, tension, and drama that had fans divided. Some believed it was a calculated show of dominance, while others insisted it was simply coincidence, a case of ordinary social behavior amplified by public fascination. Every detail began to take on symbolic meaning. Claressa's hairstyle became a point of obsession, her clothing choices dissected as if they contained hidden messages, and her gestures interpreted as coded communications. Fans examined the backgrounds of her videos, looking for familiar objects, locations, and people, trying to determine whether she was inside Papoose's residence, somewhere nearby, or in a completely unrelated location. Every small detail fueled new theories, from who she might have been speaking to off-camera, to whether she had coordinated her appearance with Papoose, to what her presence signaled to Remy Ma. Social media became a virtual courtroom, with every post and clip scrutinized as evidence, every comment thread a witness stand, and every fan a detective with their own agenda. Meanwhile, Papoose himself was at the center of this maelstrom, largely unaware of the storm brewing online. He was enjoying his birthday, exchanging laughter, receiving gifts, and responding to toasts with a genuine smile. But the focus was no longer on him. It had shifted entirely to the interactions, timing, and perceived intentions of Claressa and Remy. Fans began reconstructing timelines, comparing posts, flights, and appearances, attempting to connect dots that may not have any connection at all. The social media narrative quickly evolved into something that felt almost cinematic, a plotline filled with suspense, hidden motives, and dramatic tension. Every clip of Papoose with guests, every handshake, every laugh was examined not for what it was, but for what it might imply in the larger web of celebrity relationships and potential conflicts. The intensity of public scrutiny only escalated when anonymous sources began shimming in. Some reported seeing Claressa in locations suspiciously close to Papoose's party, while others claimed to have insider knowledge of conversations and tensions that were never publicly aired. While none of these reports could be independently verified, the internet treated them as gospel. The idea of secret discussions, behind-the-scenes confrontations, and personal messages being exchanged behind the camera became a central pillar of the emerging story. Each new rumor was picked apart, shared, and amplified until it became difficult to separate fact from conjecture. Fans were desperate to find a smoking gun, a single definitive moment that would confirm whether this was simply a birthday with friends or the opening act of a much larger, more explosive feud. And then came the whispers about what some described as subtle confrontations at the party itself. Observers claimed they noticed exchanges that seemed tense, moments where Claressa and Remy made eye contact, or where gestures suggested underlying frustration. These moments, fleeting as they were enough to fuel new rounds of debate. Clips were slowed down, screenshots were taken, and side-by-side comparisons were made to determine whether a glance or a hand movement indicated hostility, discomfort, or deliberate messaging. Every movement was parsed as potential evidence in the increasingly elaborate narrative being constructed online. The drama was no longer contained. It had taken on a life of its own, becoming a story in which fans were not only spectators, but active participants, shaping the evolving plot with each comment, tweet, and post. Adding even more fuel to the fire was Claressa's public commentary in the days following the party. Her statements were analyzed for tone, word choice, and timing, each perceived as a clue to her state of mind and intentions. Some interpreted casual remarks as thinly veiled shots at Remy Ma, while others speculated that her words were carefully crafted to manage public perception and assert dominance in a social media fuel. The battlefield. The commentary sparked debates across multiple platforms, from YouTube threads to Instagram stories, creating a ripple effect of conversation that pulled in countless fans and observers. Each new observation, whether a subtle facial expression, a tweet, or a story update, was dissected for evidence, leading to ever-growing speculation about what was really happening behind closed doors. Even seemingly mundane details were elevated to moments of high drama. Claressa's choice of accessories, the lighting in her videos, and even the way she moved through the room became points of intense scrutiny. Fans created elaborate timelines, comparing timestamps, video metadata, and social media updates, all in an effort to reconstruct the narrative and identify hidden meanings. The level of analysis was relentless. Nothing was too small, too subtle, or too insignificant to escape public attention. Each fragment of information, real or perceived, was treated as a piece of a complex puzzle, and fans were eager to solve it. At the same time, the story took on an almost archetypal quality. Papoose represented the focal point, the anchor of the narrative, while Claressa and Remy became symbolic figures in a conflict of timing, intention, and influence. The public, fascinated by celebrity dynamics, latched onto the story with fervor, dissecting every element and projecting their own interpretations onto every action. Social media became a stage for theories, conjecture, and dramatization, and the narrative grew more elaborate with each passing day. Even without official confirmation, the unfolding events were treated as a critical moment in the lives of all involved. A dramatic storyline worthy of hours of discussion, analysis, and commentary. And just when it seemed the internet couldn't generate any more speculation, new details began surfacing. Anonymous accounts claimed insider knowledge of interactions that had allegedly occurred prior to Claressa's arrival, suggesting a web of planning, strategy, and messaging that was invisible to anyone outside the inner circle. Whether true or not, the claims spread like wildfire, fueling an online frenzy that blurred the line between reality and fan-created narrative. Comment sections became battlegrounds, with fans divided into factions defending their interpretations and arguing over the smallest of details. Each one convinced that they had uncovered the truth. It became clear that Papoose's birthday was no longer simply a celebration. It was now a case study in modern celebrity drama, a vivid illustration of how ordinary events can become magnified, distorted, and transformed into full-blown spectacles in the age of social media. Every rival, every glance, every post was potentially significant. Every rumor, true or fabricated, became part of a complex tapestry of speculation, intrigue, and narrative construction. Fans were not just observers. They were active participants in a story that grew more elaborate with each interaction. And the drama was only beginning to unfold. And just when you thought the internet had reached peak chaos, the real fireworks began. Fans started digging through social media, scrolling through posts, stories, and timelines with the precision of forensic investigators, convinced that every second of Claressa's appearance contained hidden messages. Some claimed they noticed subtle gestures when she interacted with Papoose, micro-expressions that allegedly hinted at underlying tension, unspoken alliances, or even clandestine agreements that no one outside that room would ever know about. Every laugh, every nod, every glance became evidence. Suddenly, people weren't just theorizing. They were building elaborate narratives, complete with imagined backstories, motives, and secret rivalries. And the most astonishing part? Even the most mundane details were transformed into smoking guns. A sip of champagne, a carefully chosen word in a toast, or a slight adjustment of a chair became central pieces of the puzzle. Anonymous sources began emerging from the depths of social media, claiming to have insider knowledge. One source said Claressa knew exactly when the videos were going to drop. She timed everything, every move, every post, to make sure Remy would see it. Another chimed in, insisting that there had been private messages exchanged in real time. Strategic leaks designed to control the narrative before anyone else could. Whether these sources were real or just keyboard warriors spinning drama, the audience didn't care. They were treated as gospel. Every rumor was amplified, every statement replayed, and the online frenzy intensified exponentially. Then came the so-called evidence of premeditation. Observant fans pointed out that Claressa had been in New York earlier than she publicly revealed, supposedly arriving on a red-eye flight that coincided suspiciously with the circulation of the party scene. People zoomed in on hotel lobbies, airport arrivals, and even elevator footage shared in stories to track her movements. They built meticulous timelines, cross-referencing every social post and story, all to suggest that this wasn't just a birthday visit, it was a calculated appearance intended to maximize drama and visibility. And because the internet has the attention span of a hawk with a magnifying glass, every tiny detail became magnified into undeniable proof. Social media threads exploded with speculation about her wardrobe choices, too. Observers claimed her outfits were strategically selected to send subtle messages. A jacket here, a shoe there, a certain color palette. Fans theorized it was all meant to provoke, intimidate, or signal a status move in the ongoing celebrity chess game. Even her hair, which she styled meticulously, became a topic of debate. One commenter wrote, "You know, she didn't just redo her hair for fun. That look is a statement, a warning, a power move." Others were less convinced, calling it ordinary celebrity behavior blown out of proportion. But in the court of social media, it didn't matter what was true, it mattered what could be interpreted as dramatic, scandalous, or headline-worthy. Meanwhile, attention shifted to Remy Ma, who, whether by coincidence or design, became the other central figure in this unfolding saga. Rumors suggested she might have been aware of Claressa's plans, that she was tracking posts, stories, and clips as they circulated. Some fans theorized that Remy had prepared a response of her own, whether through subtle posts, side comments, or indirect interactions on social media. The tension between the two women was now no longer invisible. It was hypervisible, broadcast for millions to analyze, dissect, and debate endlessly. Fans began creating speculative timelines. Who saw what first? Who posted when and how? Every interaction, or lack thereof, signaled intentions, alliances, or confrontations. The birthday party itself became a central artifact in this investigation. Clips that seemed innocuous at first were now scrutinized for every possible micro-moment of drama. When Papoose laughed at a joke, was it genuine, or was he masking discomfort at the unfolding situation? When Claressa exchanged glances with other guests, were these innocent interactions, or coded signals aimed at Remy Ma? Even Papoose's subtle body language, leaning slightly towards someone, adjusting his watch, or taking a deep breath, was interpreted as a cue in this high-stakes social chess game. Every second of footage became a piece of evidence, and the internet, as always, was ready to try the case. Anonymous reports started circulating suggesting there had been side conversations prior to Claressa's arrival. Conversations that allegedly hinted at long-standing tension. One source claimed, "There's history here you don't know about. Old grievances, old betrayals." This isn't just about a birthday, it's the culmination of years of subtle conflicts. Whether true or fabricated, these claims added fuel to a fire that was already raging. Fans debated endlessly, spinning scenarios in which past grievances intersected with present actions, suggesting that Claressa's dramatic appearance was part of a larger narrative only insiders could fully grasp. And then came the speculation about the post-party aftermath. Observers noticed that Claressa immediately engaged with her social media audience, posting stories, videos, and commentary in a way that seemed almost scripted. Her captions were dissected line by line. Was there a hidden jab in her phrasing? A subtle diss? Fans became amateur linguists, analyzing punctuation, emojis, and word choice as potential evidence of underlying tension. Every public statement, however mundane, was treated as a potential bombshell. Meanwhile, Papoose's own interactions were not immune from scrutiny. Observers began tracking how he engaged with Claressa and Remy Ma before, during, and after the party. Every photo, every video snippet, every comment became a data point. Fans speculated about his intentions, his loyalties, and his possible role in mediating or perhaps even instigating the unfolding drama. Was he trying to maintain peace, or was he subtly playing both sides to maximize attention and control the narrative? The more people analyzed, the more the narrative seemed to twist and expand, making a birthday celebration feel like the opening act of a full-scale celebrity thriller. Then came the leaked insider opinions. According to these supposed insiders, Claressa had orchestrated her presence for maximum impact. Some claimed she had meetings, phone calls, and strategic social media posts prepared in advance, all designed to coincide with moments when she would be noticed most. She didn't just show up. She executed a plan, one anonymous account wrote. Whether true or entirely fabricated, these leaks were enough to push public perception into overdrive. Fans now believed they were witnessing a carefully choreographed sequence. A drama so meticulously staged that it rivaled scripted reality TV. The unfolding drama also extended to online debates about morality, loyalty, and celebrity behavior. Some argued that Claressa's actions were empowering, a demonstration of control in a world where women are often expected to remain passive. Others framed it as manipulative, a calculated move designed to provoke jealousy and public speculation. Remy's perceived silence or delayed reaction was also analyzed. Was she being strategic, waiting for the right moment to respond? Or was she caught off guard by Claressa's calculated entrance? Every possible angle was examined, debated, and broadcast in viral threads that spread across platforms like wildfire. Fans weren't the only ones analyzing the situation. Entertainment news outlets, bloggers, and social media commentators jumped on the story almost immediately. Headlines blared about the explosive birthday feud, Claressa versus Remy, the ultimate showdown, and Papoose caught in the middle of celebrity chaos. Each new article, each new post fueled speculation, amplified drama, and intensified the pressure on everyone involved. What should have been a personal moment of celebration became a public spectacle of tension, power dynamics, and celebrity intrigue, and, while the analysis seemed endless, what kept it alive was the lack of definitive answers. There were no confirmed confrontations, no official statements, and no clear explanations for the timing of events. The ambiguity allowed imagination, rumor, and speculation to thrive. Every observer became a theorist, every fan a detective, and every post a piece of evidence. The narrative expanded, evolved, and mutated in real time, feeding the insatiable appetite of social media for drama, scandal, and controversy. Even small, seemingly insignificant interactions were now under the microscope. A conversation by the buffet table, a side glance during the toast, the way someone adjusted a chair every minute detail was replayed, screenshot, and analyzed for hidden meaning. Observers debated whether these moments were orchestrated, spontaneous, or evidence of underlying tension between Claressa and Remy Ma. The theory building reached a level of intensity rarely seen, and the birthday that had begun as a warm, intimate gathering now felt like the opening act in a celebrity-level espionage thriller. And just when you thought the storm couldn't get any bigger, the fallout began. The internet, having consumed every frame, every glance, every post, now started demanding answers. Fans weren't satisfied with theories anymore. They wanted reactions, explanations, and confrontations. Social media threads became war zones. Every new post from Claressa Shields was dissected in real time. Every comment she liked, every story she viewed, and every hashtag she used became a headline in itself. The scrutiny wasn't just about what happened at Papoose's birthday anymore, it was about intentions, strategy, and hidden messages. People started asking questions like, was this a subtle power move? Was this the beginning of a long-simmering feud finally breaking into public view? And most importantly, what did Remy Ma know? When did she know it? And how would she respond? The public quickly began hypothesizing about all kinds of scenarios. Some claimed that Claressa's calculated timing and online posts were designed to provoke a direct response from Remy. potentially creating viral content, which, of course, the internet would amplify exponentially. Others suggested a darker angle that these moves could destabilize relationships, manipulate public perception, or even create tension between Papoose and his closest allies. Fans debated endlessly about whether the birthday celebration was genuinely heartfelt or a carefully orchestrated setup for a social media showdown. And, as always, the internet has no chill-every theory. True or false was treated as undeniable evidence. Anonymous insiders began emerging across social platforms, claiming that the situation was far more intricate than any public observer could imagine. One source insisted that Claressa had been tracking Remy's social activity for weeks, noting patterns in her posts, likes, and even the timing of her interactions with Papoose-related content. Another alleged that the stylistic choices, from hair to wardrobe, were meticulously planned to send subtle signals messages that only those in the know could decode. Of course, these insiders provided no verifiable proof, but the speculation alone was enough to send comment sections into overdrive. Fans were no longer theorizing, they were constructing elaborate storylines, complete with imagined motives, hidden conflicts, and dramatic confrontations that might never have happened in reality. As the days passed, attention shifted to Papoose himself. Analysts on social media began breaking down his behavior in painstaking detail, comparing body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions across clips. Every smile, every laugh, and every handshake was theorized as either genuine warmth or a carefully calculated performance designed to navigate the delicate dynamics between Claressa and Remy. Observers debated whether Papoose was a mediator, a provocateur, or an unwitting participant in an unfolding drama far larger than anyone expected. The man who simply wanted to celebrate his birthday had become the epicenter of an online investigation, the likes of which social media had never seen. Meanwhile, Remy's perceived silence or her subtle engagement with social media only fueled speculation further. Fans dissected her stories, tweets, and posts, searching for hidden meanings, clues, or cryptic responses to Claressa's online activity. Every pause, every delayed post, every carefully chosen word became a potential headline. Was she plotting a countermove? Was she frustrated, amused, or indifferent? Observers theorized that even her absence at key moments might be deliberate, a strategic choice intended to send a message without ever publicly acknowledging the drama. Social media, of course, treated these absences as a loaded statement, proving once again that in the celebrity world, silence is never neutral. Then the conversation took another twist when fans began speculating about potential legal and contractual implications. Could there be NDA agreements in place? Could social media posts and public appearances intersect with business deals, endorsements, or other financial arrangements? The audience theorized that Claressa's presence, her timing, and her posts could have broader consequences beyond the birthday drama. From sponsorship deals to public image management, every move was now perceived as part of a calculated strategy, and the public was obsessed with tracing every ripple effect. Comment sections overflowed with legal hypotheticals, celebrity management strategies, and fan predictions about how Papoose, Claressa, and Remy might navigate the aftermath. Even trivial details became sensationalized. The internet began debating everything from the lighting in Claressa's videos to the placement of furniture in Papoose's home, interpreting these as potential cues or coded signals. Fans theorized about secret meetings before or after the party, imagined conversations that may have taken place, and even created timelines of social media interactions to uncover hidden truths. The narrative grew more elaborate by the hour, fueled by a combination of online speculation, anonymous tips, and the insatiable desire for entertainment. What started as a birthday celebration had evolved into a social media-level investigation. With every participant suddenly under a microscope, the drama escalated further as fake leaks and exaggerated commentary began circulating on entertainment news platforms. Headlines claimed Claressa's timing was no accident, that Remy's reaction or lack thereof was telling, and that Papoose's role was complicated beyond comprehension. Even mainstream outlets like BBC Style, ABC Style, and VH1 Style reporting began picking up snippets, framing the story as a scandal of celebrity proportions. Social media, always hungry for validation from larger platforms, amplified every story, every tweet, every clip, creating a cycle of escalation that few could have predicted. Amid all this chaos, fans began speculating about potential personal consequences. Would friendships fracture? Would long-standing professional relationships be tested? Could this escalate into a full-blown public feud with legal ramifications, sponsorship losses, or public image crises? The narrative became almost operatic, every actor playing a role in a drama that was part reality, part imagination, and entirely fueled by social media amplification. Fans speculated about meetings behind closed doors, strategic posts designed to provoke reactions, and even hypothetical confrontations that could be leaked to the press at any moment. Every possibility seemed more shocking than the last, and the story refused to die. Meanwhile, Papoose's birthday party itself had now been dissected to such an extreme that no clip was safe. Observers analyzed table arrangements, who stood where, who interacted with whom, and the duration of each interaction. Some theorized that seating arrangements were symbolic, that proximity to Papoose indicated influence or favor. Others claimed that subtle gestures, like a hand placed on a shoulder or a glance across the room, were evidence of hidden alliances or brewing confrontations. Every minute detail became a storyline, and the public was hooked, replaying footage over and over as they constructed increasingly elaborate narratives. The tension between Claressa Shields and Remy Ma had reached near mythical proportions online. Fans debated whether this was a slow-burning rivalry, a sudden escalation, or something carefully orchestrated for maximum social media impact. Speculation spread to imagine alliances, hypothetical betrayals, and the possibility of even more explosive interactions in the future. The public became addicted to predicting the next move, analyzing the past, and imagining scenarios that, frankly, may never have existed in reality. But in the digital world, perception is everything, and the spectacle had captured global attention. Even months later, snippets of the party, posts, and commentary continued to resurface, keeping the drama alive. Every new post by Claressa, Remy, or Papoose reignited discussions, spawned fresh theories, and kept fans and casual observers alike deeply invested in the ongoing narrative. Analysts, both amateur and professional, dissected each element, creating a continuous cycle of engagement, speculation, and viral content. What started as a single birthday celebration had evolved into a multi-platform, multi-layer drama that blurred the lines between reality, perception, and entertainment. And so here we are, watching the spectacle unfold, each clip, each post, each interaction adding another layer to a story that may never have a definitive conclusion. The birthday celebration that began with smiles and champagne now reads like a masterclass in celebrity tension, strategic social media play, and internet-fueled drama. The public has been given fragments of the story, and, in the absence of facts, imagination fills the gaps. Fans continue to theorize, speculate, and debate, ensuring that the drama remains alive, potent, and impossible to ignore. So now, Shader family, here's where it gets real. What do you think is actually happening behind the scenes? Is Claressa Shields really making moves to shake up Remy Ma and Papoose, or is the internet just blowing a simple birthday moment completely out of proportion? Are there secret messages in every glance, every post, every story, or are we all just reading too much into what's literally a celebration? Drop your thoughts in the comments because the conversation isn't over. We want to know who you think has the upper hand, who's playing chess and who's just reacting, and whether this is the start of a slow burn feud that will explode across social media in the coming weeks. And while you're at it, hit that like button if you're living for the drama. Smash subscribe for more deep dives into celebrity chaos. And turn on notifications because you don't want to miss the next move in this explosive saga. Trust us, when names like Claressa Shields, Remy Ma, and Papoose are in the mix, the internet doesn't just watch. It investigates, debates, and erupts. So, Shader family, weigh in who really won this round and who's about to make the next shocking move. Your voice matters.